The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is tasked with the responsibility of formulating and implementing policies and programs to attract investment, boost industrialization, and create an enabling environment to stimulate domestic investment and attract foreign direct investment. Well, joining me on the show today is the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment in Nigeria, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, to review activities of the ministry so far. I must thank you so very much for your time, Honorable Minister. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you, Tolu. How are you?
Very well. Yes, very well. It's good to have you, Ma. Now, the renewed hope agenda, of course, of President Bola Tinubu focuses on economy and industry, of course, other sectors, but that is very key to pull our economy out of where we are at the moment. I want to ask you, I know a lot has been done. Can you highlight some major points? What has happened in recent times? A lot of trips, foreign investments, commitments, and all of that. Where are we at the moment before we now understand some policies that we can institute to move forward?
Thank you for the question. We've done so much. So I will take it pillar by pillar. In the area of investment, we've attracted over 30 billion in investment commitments. We are also working to increase the capital formation for small businesses and the private sector. In the area of trade, we've actually landed a landmark deal with WTO and in combination with ITC and World Bank. In March this year, the DG of WTO came to Nigeria to launch the program support for Nigeria. I recall that some of the program supports include the Standard Trade Development Facility, digital trade, e-commerce, and different capacity enhancement programs, as well as a major support for the country to develop its first ever trade intelligence unit. We also launched the Enhanced National Trade Facilitation Committee. That committee will be looking at, I'm the co-chairman of that committee with the CG of Customs. What that committee will be doing is to see how to remove both technical and non-technical barriers to trade, to improve our exports and our export earnings. We signed so many bilateral agreements. We've heard about the ETIP agreement we signed with the UK. We ratified the agreement with the UAE, and we're currently engaging in so many other bilateral and multilateral and plurilateral agreements, including the African Continental Free Trade negotiations. And we are currently also trying to digitize the export permit process for the oil and gas sector and the entire export permits and licensing for all other exports. In the area of industrialization, we are currently working to stimulate industries sector by sector, starting with the cotton, textile, and garment sector. We are looking at how to increase the production of cotton by farmers, how the industries, the ginneries, the textile and garments factories can become reactivated. And so in this regard, we are partnering with a world-class organization and Afrexim, looking at injecting at least $3.5 billion into the cotton, textile, and garment value chain. We've had multiple stakeholder engagements. We're also having engagements with state governors and about to sign the MOU for that to start. We're also catalyzing the automotive sector. We've had multiple engagements and currently finalizing the MOU agreements between the component part manufacturers, raw material producers, and the vehicle manufacturers. Our target is to produce the first made in Nigeria vehicle by December this year. Even if it is one keke napep that we produce in Nigeria or one motorcycle, Nigeria has to be known as a manufacturer of automobiles. We have the market, we have the technology, we have the skill, and we have the willingness of the sector, the participants, and the consumption base. So there is no reason why we can produce our own vehicles, and we're about to do that. We're also trying to facilitate and catalyze so many other free zones and special economic zones. and coming up with our industrialization strategies that will support the industrial policy of the country to stimulate and revitalize industrialization. When we do all of the things I have mentioned, we will achieve President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda of increasing non-oil exports and stimulating export substitution or import substitution by and increasing the FX reserve of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. I think it's a good way to start this conversation.